Welcome guys, Brandon here from Terminated Gaming. Once again, we're back on World of Warships with another replay. And once again on a ship I don't know if we've ever actually featured on the channel. But of course, staying with a very good channel trend of Tier 9 is one of the best tiers. This is USS Alaska, Tier 9 American large cruiser. Thank you very much, America, for calling it a large cruiser rather than a battlecruiser like it should be. Of course, if you've noticed real quickly in the chat, I posted no DDs. This is, of course, a Tier 9 match with no destroyers. Very curious. Of course, all these matches now, after 10.0, after the rework, so it's really rare to see this many cruisers playing, as battleships became a very dominant class along with aircraft carriers again. Anyways, I digress. Let's stick to the kind of the gist of this game, where it's Alaska. It is a battlecruiser. It takes that battle moniker to a whole new level when this is probably the best game that I've had in Alaska to date. I don't know if this is the highest damage cruiser game that I've had, which isn't saying much. Like I said, I'm not an exceptional player at this game. I am just above average. So every once in a while, I get a gem in the trash, so to say, of these kind of battles, and this is no exception. It is a very fun game. I had a lot of fun playing it. It comes down to a close-ish fight on this side of the map, whereas instead of the traditional blowouts, I'm taking a blind shot at a Fiji that was spotted out there in that smoke screen, and I just kind of followed up on where somebody else had fired from. But that Fiji, of course, has actually ditched his smoke screen entirely, which and then continued to fire after the fact. I don't believe he was even spotted until he fired there. These first few salvos are really not going to amount to much. Of course, the first one was at nothing, basically, and that second one we just get one pen. So, but he's closing the distance relatively fast, and that's where the Alaska gets more dangerous, is at these closer distances. And if you've watched, well, okay, let's ignore the fact that we just devastated that Fiji, but I mean that's not saying much. It's a Fiji. It doesn't have a lot of health. We get a little messed up here because I did I fixed a problem that we had earlier, and now our steering is stuck at a slight left turn. So I slow down completely, and that's when the CV decides he wants to go after me. So I turn on my defensive fire, focus sector, we get 7 plane kills, and he doesn't even get the torps off, which is very lucky. That was not how I expected to get away with that. Granted, we did have a Cleveland who was backing us up, so we had extra AA support there. So now I'm just waiting for my steering to come back up. And we get spotted, which is always a joy, because when you're spotted, you're going to probably take hits. And I have 5 things targeting me. Of course, yes, I am running my priority target skill. I do run that. I kind of use it as a crutch. I'm trying to get away from it, because you shouldn't need to use it. So anyways, I'm trying to just get myself in a position away from the fire. I don't want to be taking as much damage. At this point, the Lexington has stopped trying to focus me, and he's now actually going after that Cleveland. So that allows me to just help take out his planes without being at immediate threat of danger. So we're trying to just get this point captured here, and so I'm trying. If you've watched any of Potato Quality's videos on Alaska, he would ill-advise about playing it as a tank at the beginning of the match, and I would 100% agree. So what do? I go against exactly his words of a good player here, and we get an assisted cap here, and I'm shooting at that Palmer, which is, looking back, is an interesting choice, but we get a Citadel against the Palmer, because at range his turtleback isn't going to mean anything. So now we're sailing away. If you've noticed, I've actually been firing a lot of AP, because American AP is amazing. Don't get me wrong, American HE is also amazing. But American AP, man, it does some crazy things. Like a broadside Kuznetsov. 7 hits, 2 Citadels, 22,000 damage. He's going to not think about doing that again. At this point, I'm trying to fall back, because I have a Cleveland, me, and this Amagi next to me. But there's 3 friendly ships all the way back. This Amagi is going to be paying a big price for being up there. But as you notice, there's an enemy Jean Bar in the capture point that we just took. And the Palmern is also pushing up. So we kind of needed to leave that situation. Otherwise, we'd be kind of in a bad situation. I put out that fire. I know a lot of people would ill-advise against that, a single fire. But I did that because I figured... I either pay for this or I get away with it. And I guess that's everybody. But whenever I have a single fire on ships, I sometimes see myself putting them out. But have I gotten away with it so long that I'm kind of used to being set on fire type thing? So I don't know. I get away with it in that situation. We fire AP at the front of the Jean Bar there just because it was loaded. And then I'm reloading HE to see if I can do any more effectual damage with it. This is not a very high captain either, so I don't have anything like super heavy AP for cruisers. I almost said battleships. Or the higher damage HE. Which Potato Quality's most recent video from the time I'm recording this said that the super heavy HE on Alaska actually kind of makes sense, which I would probably agree. He's also in that video not running a radar, he's running a spotter plane, which is an interesting choice because the radar would come in a lot more use in some situations. As you notice, Alaska, along with most American cruisers, are pretty accurate guns. We're getting a pretty accurate gunfire here against that Jean Bar. Doing consistent damage, you know, about 5. We're just piddling his health away. Where Alaska really shines is in that later game situation when you can have most of your health and we can take that AP shell at close range, these 12-inch guns, 9 12-inch guns. They also get the American pen angles for AP. And we can just have our way with battleships in the early or at the late game, just devastating their sides. But either way, we get away from this engagement here with most of our health. I would say just over 50% of our health still intact, and we've done 75,000 damage. And we also have a kill to our name with nuking the Fiji off the bat. I miscalculated the Jean Bar's speed there. We do get 2 hits though. We wouldn't have been able to lead any further anyways due to the mountain, but yeah, we do. I was hoping for a fire there because that would have really been helpful. I keep pinging the team, hey, we need to take out that Jean Bar. Hey, we need to take out that Jean Bar. The Jean Bar is low health, and sometimes the reminders are what's needed on the team because not everybody's always paying attention. Anyways, so now the action kind of dies down for us for a little bit, as we are now the furthest person back on our team. They're contesting A. They have B because we had nobody go to B. There's no DDs, so nobody felt comfortable. Take a blind shot against the Izumo. I like to take blind shots more often now because the opportunity, if there, you might as well take it. Of course, we get nothing out of it, but, you know, you never know. Our team has a very commanding advantage over, or at least positional advantage over on C on the other side. But in all honesty, we're kind of losing a positional battle here in this game as a team. I had AP loaded here, so I fired it against that Palmern. I get 2 overpens. HE would have been so much better because if you look, we hit 7 out of 9 shells at that range. The accuracy of the Alaska is not bad. It's just, it comes down to ammo selection. And if I would have had HE there, probably would have had a way better salvo than that AP salvo. But, you know, in the heat of the moment, it's like, I don't have shell switcher. It's one of those things on Alaska that I feel like would be useful as having shell switcher. But most of the time, you're going to fire what you have loaded anyways. And I had the AP loaded because most of these battleships, when they're coming around, I guarantee you're going to go straight out, most likely due to the positioning of some of our friendly ships. So they would give me a broadside. And of course, I'm not going to sit back for very long because Alaska at range is going to do well. Don't get me wrong. But Alaska really shines in that when there's low health BBs ready to die situation, you can surprise them with your DPM compared to theirs. That Muchin is what's actually spotting us here. And I try to get those shells off, but the front turrets, of course, impact the end. I mean, look at the dispersion there. Really good dispersion out of that rear turret, but he does speed up to get away from those shells. So it didn't work out. We would have missed even if we had those rear turrets get off, because I aimed as if he was still traveling in reverse, but he was, of course, going forward. I take enough damage there where I justify using that heal, and now I'm trying to angle away from this incoming fire, but still maximize my return fire. If I was thinking about it, I would have shot at the Jean Bar the first time, rather than the Palmer, because I had AP loaded. The Lexington is now smartly going after me, as we do 15k to the Jean Bar. He's smartly going after me, because he's going to try to make me turn into a position where those battleships will mess me up. But thankfully, the Alaska's AA, and we have enough of our AA still intact, that we can mess up his planes before he gets that opportunity to do that to us. Of course, I'm trying to put myself in a position now that those battleships either have to give me broadside or give that Iowa broadside. And if I were those battleships, I'd still rather give the Alaska broadside than that Iowa broadside. Because that Iowa's 16-inch guns are going to hurt a heck of a lot more than the Alaskas. But of course, either way, they're going to face these Alaska guns, and they're not going to do very well against them. But that Iowa is going to take a beating for his cause. But still, he does a great job taking on 3 enemy BBs in his BB. It's now down to just that Izumo and the Lexington in front of him, because the Palmer and Jean Bar both went down. We do 17k to that Lexington. I had AP loaded, so I was like, that Izumo's not a good target. So I fired it at the Lexington and did 17k. I felt like that was a good choice, and then I reloaded the HE for the Izumo. I see the Izumo is going to come out and go after the Iowa, so I'm going to reload the HP, but I got the fire off on him, so that's a continuous damage if he doesn't put it out. If he does put it out, it gives the opportunity for the cruisers that are behind to set their own fires. So I'm going to hold my fire here for a second, let that Izumo give me a better angle, and then we're going to let the AP rip, because this AP is going to hurt. And it doesn't hurt nearly as much because of my poor aim and a little bit of bad dispersion, but we get our Confederate medal there for doing damage to a bunch of enemy ships. But of course, we're going to try to support this Iowa as much as we can against this Izumo, so I fire another AP salvo. A little bit further back on the Izumo, underjudged his speed, gets 7 hits for a decent amount of damage, but of course, unfortunately, we're not going to do enough damage to this Izumo fast enough to let that Iowa survive this engagement. We get another salvo off here, and we finally get a Citadel for 10k. We're doing consistent damage time after time against this Izumo. Of course, that 10k was off of only 3 hits. I'm risking trying to get Citadels more on this Izumo than actual damage, and that's probably costing me, and it cost that Iowa its life. We get 6 pens there for 10,000. Of course, I was trying to call out the Izumo as the target here, but his aircraft came out, and his aircrafter got in front of it, so I said take out the aircraft. So I kind of looked dumb. So we get the Izumo there. We're reloading to try to get this Lexington, but the Lexington goes down to the Nagato behind me. The Nagato's been really good about taking out targets. He took out the Palmer earlier, too, before my shells were able to get there. So now it's just the Smoochin left. I didn't expect this salvo here to actually get a Citadel against him right away, but it's a pleasant surprise, you know, 8,900 damage against him right then. The Smoochin's playing it fairly well. He was aggressive. He was the one that capped B for the enemy team, but he miscalculates and turns too far in there, and that American AP, we're unlucky to kill him, not kill him there, because both of our shells hit him for Citadels. If we would have got one more hit, that guy was probably dead. I try to get one more salvo around that island on him, to no avail. Nothing. So very, very unlucky, but also a little bit down to my aim. If I had a little bit better aim, granted, I might have missed the Citadels. You never know. But those Citadels really racked up. We got 10 Citadels in this game, and we're up to 212,000 damage and 2 kills. And our team was able to mop up on the other flank, so I'm going to just go back and try to secure this cap and make sure that the remaining 2 enemy ships, even though very low on health, can't win this game by accident. We want to make them earn it. We used our last heal in the Alaska. We never used a radar this game, but of course there was no DDs, so there is a argument to having the spotter plane. I popped my radar there, though, thinking that, oh, hey, he spotted me. He's close enough within my radar range, but no, he's actually sailed away. And I figured this Kaga was actually going to be able to go and mop up this Muchin before I would get him. But we do get an opportunity here. Can we get the kill on the Muchin? We just need a couple hits, and we do. We get the 2 overpins we need to secure our final kill. So, not a lot of kills that game, but 214,000 damage isn't bad. 123 target hits with the main battery guns, 23 plane kills, 3 kills. We only set 1 fire. We didn't fire a lot of HE. I fired mostly AP this game. 10 citadels for all of that AP fire. We had 5 defendeds, and we only assisted capped the 8 point. We did a little bit of spawning as well for our team, but that's not a huge thing in this. We got a Devastating Strike, Confederate, First Blood, and High Caliber. For the team score, we just barely missed 3,000 XP. That would have been 2 videos in a row where we had 3,000 XP, but man, we were just shy. Should have did a little bit more, and I would have got it probably, right? 29-25 for base XP was not bad. 3 kills, 23 plane kills. Came top of the team quite comfortably as well, but that's nothing against. There was some really good players on our team. Of course, like this Fiji, a tier 7 ship on the other flank, was doing very well for the team on the other flank. And then we look at the detailed statistics. We spread our damage out quite a bit. Azumo 60,000. That's a outlier there. But like 20s to 30s on most ships there. And then we also, most of our damage came from the armor piercing. 184,000 came from armor piercing, 18,700 from HE, and 600 damage from your secondaries. And that 1 fire did 11,000 damage, which is a stark contrast to the video before. I won't spoil it too much, but we had very little fire damage in the Massachusetts off of 5 fire sets. So if you want to check out that video, the playlist is linked up above, and it is the most recent video before this one. So go check that one out if you're interested. Anyways, the Alaska is a tier 9 premium ship, so it makes a decent amount of money. Without a premium account, I would have taken 1.5 million credits. With the premium account, we're up to 2.2 million after all said and done. Of course, that is with a whole bunch of flags modifying that result. 24,528 free XP and 28,000 regular XP. This, of course, was not with a 21-point commander, but we got 71,000 commander XP as well. So a very good training game overall. And with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If so, rating would be much appreciated, and I will catch you guys most definitely on the next one. Peace out.
Shut up and sit down.